Cadillac. The great performers are always creating a higher standard. And your local Cadillac dealers proudly present the Senior PGA Tour. Jim Colbert, the only two-time champion here at Tanglewood Park. And after yesterday's 6-under par 65, Colbert likes his chances for a third. 1996 began the way 95 ended. Last year's Player of the Year won Toshiba early, then again in his hometown of Las Vegas, and again in mid-May at the Nationwide. Colbert starts Saturday with a one-shot lead, trying for his third Vantage championship. Our ESPN golf team welcomes you to the Tar Heel state of North Carolina, tucked in the Triad, where thoroughbreds have roamed for years. This week, each fall, for 10 straight years now, the thoroughbreds of golf return. Palmer, Player, and all their friends to a place carved from the rolling Carolina hills amidst the tall pines and cedar trees. Welcome to Tanglewood Park, home again to the Vantage Championship. Cloudy and windy. The wind is howling. A good day to be anchored down here just outside of Clemens, North Carolina. Welcome back to the Vantage Championship for 10 straight years now. This beautiful scenic Tanglewood Park has been home to one of the richest stops on the senior calendar. The Vantage Championship weather will be the story of day number 2 and possibly even tomorrow. The wind howling. It's over 20 miles an hour right now, and it's coming in from different directions, making club selection for the golfers very interesting. Showers and thunder showers, the forecast for later this afternoon. Raymond Floyd began the day at 2 under par. He birdied the 9th hole to make the turn at -3. Then earlier today, this was Floyd and his birdie bid out at number 10. Raymond to go to 4 under par and get into the hunt. Playing with him, number 1 on the money list, Hale Irwin, also started out the day at -2. A birdie at 6, another at 7, and then Hale Irwin's third shot out at the par 5 12th. Missed the eagle chip, tapped in for a birdie. Irwin quickly got it to 5 under. How about Gary Player? Began the day at -1, made the turn at 2 under. Birdies at 10, 12, and 14. And then Laddie's approach out at the 16th. He would make that tap in to get it to 6 under par. Simon Hobday, 2 under as this day dawned, 4 under at the turn, a birdie at 12, and then with a 5-iron off the tee at the par 3 13th. Hobday would make that 6-footer to get it to -6. Jim Colbert, yesterday's leader and 2-time Vantage champion, his birdie out at 10 to go to 7 under par. 1 birdie, 1 bogey on the front side. He was even par, still 6 under until 7 under par for Colbert. And at 18, just a second ago, Gary Player. Remember what he had done so far. Birdies at 10, 12, 14, and 16. His birdie try at 18. Player goes to 7 under par. A 6 under, 65 here at Tanglewood today. Gary Player in the house at -7. Colbert just 1 shot back. And how about MasterCard Grandmaster competitor in the Super Senior Division, Don January. January with 18 Senior PGA Tour titles, but none since back in '87. He had a great run in the '80s. Don January, who will turn 66 Thanksgiving week. In the lead by 1. Colbert trailing by a single shot, trying to become the only 3-time winner of this championship. Hobday is bogeyed after that birdie at 13. Irwin stays at 5 under, ditto Raymond Floyd and J.C. Snead. Larry Gilbert won this championship here at Tanglewood 2 years ago, outdueled Raymond Floyd. Gibby Gilbert's at 4 under par. Mike Hill won a couple of weeks ago. John Bland, all at 4 under par, and Frank Connor out of the Q School. Stockton's got it to 3 under. Bobby Strobel. Field was split. They went split tees between 8 and 10 o'clock this morning because of the weather forecast. So as we welcome you to our second round coverage back here at picturesque Tanglewood Park, you know, Jim Colbert lives in Las Vegas, so he knows all about playing the odds. And the odds were in his favor when he woke up yesterday, and he saw that there was about a 65% chance of thunder showers for today, and the chance is likely that this It might be a rain-reduced event. Deja vu, just like 92. Back on Saturday, Colbert strolled up the 18th. He had a one-shot lead over Jim Dent back then. He said to his caddy, Willie Miller, he said, you know, all we have to do is to make a par at the 18th hole to win the golf tournament. Well, Colbert birdied the hole. He had a two-shot lead starting Sunday. There was no Sunday round, and Colbert won the Vantage Championship for the second straight time. Such is the mindset of a Jim Colbert. As we welcome Gary Koch back alongside, Colbert's only one shot off the lead right now. You look at Gary Player and what he's done, a good score early with the wind howling, so Colbert's got some ground to make up, but he loves bad weather. He's a great mutter.
Well, he certainly is, and I guess to say that he loves this Tanglewood course would be a little bit of an understatement. Colbert's played 15 competitive rounds here and is averaging 68.8 strokes per round, and if we take a look at his success here, it really is phenomenal. He's had a couple of wins, a 7th, a 12th, and earnings of about $500,000 in this event alone. So I think, Jim, to say that he loves the golf course, well, that's pretty obvious. It suits his game very well. It's a tight golf course. Jim Colbert tends to keep the ball in play, and that then allows him to play some good iron shots into these relatively small greens.
He's made close to $500,000 just in this event. When he tied for 44th last year, that was his worst finish by far. Kind of an oddity. Right now, he's one shot off the lead. Let's talk about the split tees and the mindset of the pro golfers. Out early today, going off 1 and 10 because of the forecast. Now with the wind howling, I mean, we've seen 3 different clubs hit from the same threesome out here at 18.
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of uncertainty, no question about it. The guys woke up very early this morning, I think probably expecting the worst. Possible rain delays, maybe even cancellation of the round. That hasn't happened, but they have had to deal with the wind, and it has been a real problem. As you mentioned, it's gusting. It's trying to change direction as the front approaches. So I think there's still a lot of uncertainty in a lot of players' minds, and for Gary Player to be in and having posted that low score, he could very well be leading this tournament by the end of the second round.
Besides Gary Koch, we welcome back Bob Rosberg, following Floyd and Irwin and Gil Morgan making his senior tour debut. Frank Beard out there with the day's last threesome, Colbert, January, and Kermit Zarley. After chipping in and getting it to 7 under par, Colbert's second at 11. Frank?
From the middle of the fairway, Jimmy's only got 100 yards. It pins all the way in the back of this green.
Gary Player signing his scorecard after that 6 under par 65, just one shot behind. And how about Don January? Great round today, 3 under after yesterday's opening 65.
Trevino and Colbert must sink this putt to win.
Imagine what's going through their minds.
They're really talking this one over.
Say, partner, how's that new DeVille of yours?
Man, it just sings. With that North Star system, I've got power, control like you wouldn't believe. I tell you, Jim, it's more fun than a birdie putt.
They read it perfectly.
Tremendous concentration.
I can't wait to hit the road.
Partner, that'll be your best drive of the day.
Coast is clear.
Let's do it.
I'm so excited. Snackwell's is now making fudge brownies.
Yeah, me too.
This tastes so rich. I can't believe there's only 2 grams of fat.
That's right.
So moist and chewy.
Will you please help me out? Those ladies could be here any second.
So rich, you'd swear they were right from the bakery. New Snackwell's brownies and snack bars. Try all 4 varieties.
Thank you, precious.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Peterson's golfing test panel said outstanding, exceptional, terrific. FX oversized irons for men, women, seniors. Call 1-800-RAM-PLAYS.
When was the last time you saw something really amazing?
That's amazing. That is amazing. Definitely amazing.
Flexon, the most flexible metal frame you've ever seen. The most comfortable frame you've ever worn. Flexon by Marchon.
Today's second round coverage of the Vantage Championship is being brought to you by Cadillac and your local Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, creating a higher standard. By Nabisco, America's first choice for goodness in snacking anytime, anywhere. And by Flexon, the world's most flexible frame by Marchon. Just a moment ago at the par 4 11th, Colbert to tie for the lead.
Uphill putt that should turn a little to his left.
One bogey back at 5, 2 birdies, 7 under, and 1 shot back. Floyd checking the wind at the par 3 17th. That'll be a familiar sight today, won't it, Rossi?
The 17th hole of today is playing a little more difficult than yesterday. A lot tougher hole placement in the back right, and with the wind coming out of the right, it makes it double tough. The back left bunker is in play and the front right bunker. This group has not putted very well today. They have really had some problems. Gil Morgan's just putted atrociously, played very well, and just has putted horrendously.
Fun threesome to follow today, eh, Rossi?
Yeah, very good. They seem to be getting along fine. They've played many around together, Jim.
Floyd 5 under. Hale Irwin -5. Morgan making his senior tour debut at 3 under.
Raymond missed club badly here yesterday. Needs to hit it the same distance he hit it yesterday when the flag was down in front. He had trouble even making 4.
Oh, what a beautiful shot. Almost flew it in the hole. That's one of the best we've seen today at 17.
Meanwhile, at the par 4 14th, former Vantage championship winner Larry Gilbert. Birdie 12 and 13 to get it to -5.
Pretty easy pin placement here today, Jim, at 14. I think we'll see quite a few birdies, some good shots in there.
Back to the tee at 17, Irwin 5 under.
Hale's hit 3 or 4 bad irons in a row. He missed the green twice, once with a wedge and once with a 6-iron, and has put it 30 feet the other 2 holes. Really has not been sharp with his irons, the back 9.
That's safely in the center of the green, but he'll have to putt up and over a ridge.
As I said before, Gil has hit a lot of good shots in there, very close, and hasn't made anything.
In the house, having signed his scorecard after that spectacular 65 in the wind, is our friend Gary Player. We're talking about Don January having a birthday and turning 67 come November the 20th there. Gary Player will have his 61st birthday come November the 1st. I mean, what is going on?
Well, I tell you that Don January is really tough. Jim, here he is, 8 under par with a par 5 to come. He's 66 years of age. They're bionic, some of these guys. Joe Jimenez, Charlie Sifford, all these guys that are scoring these unbelievable low scores after 60, I tell you. Of course, golf equipment does make a very big difference.
Well, you have been a physical fitness fanatic for a long time, and I know that when you lost in the playoff this year at Ojai to Walt Morgan, the first thing you did as soon as you missed that putt, you went into the trailer and you worked out for about an hour. You were pumping iron for a good hour after that playoff.
Well, that's right. I think, you know, when you lose a sudden death playoff, I've always been very against sudden death playoffs. You know, it's like the Kentucky Derby. You have 2 horses race the Derby. If they tie, they don't go back and race 50 yards. And they advertise a tournament as 54 holes or 72 holes. You tie and you decide on 1 hole. And when you lose a sudden death playoff after playing so well, you get a little low, obviously. And the best way to do is go and pump that iron and get it out of you.
Great backside today. I mean, key to your round today, Gary, would be what?
Well, I started with a bogey this morning and went along quite nicely. And then I holed my bunker shot at number 10. A very difficult bunker shot, too, because 10, the bunker's very deep, and the flag, you can just see the top of the flag, and knocked that in the hole. I think that was quite a turning point.
Gary, it seemed like a lot of the players today having trouble with the wind. It looks like it's gusting and kind of changing direction. How did you manage to shoot such a good score in those conditions?
Well, you know, I've always liked playing in the wind, Gary. I don't like playing a lot in rain, but I love playing in wind because I played an awful lot of tournaments in South Africa at the coast in the wind when I was a young man. I think wind is such a great challenge. You're not always hitting that full shot. You're having to finesse it in a bit. But the wind is blowing a bit out there today, and I think our staff did a great job today getting us off this early. Those guys really work hard and do a fine job.
Good luck tomorrow. Soon to be 61 years of age. I mean, the guys over 60 are having a great year. Dale Douglas wins at the Bell Atlantic, right? Charlie Cootie's almost 60, and of course Jimmy Powell kept that streak going.
Well, with all our sponsors, and here's Vantage giving us a super senior tournament, Jim. At the age of 61, you can win more money. I won more money a couple of weeks ago winning the super seniors than I did when I won the British Open or PGA, so we're very grateful.
You can buy a couple more horses. Good luck tomorrow here at Tanglewood, where they have lots of horses, and the thoroughbreds of golf have come. And Rossi, here's one of those thoroughbreds.
Hale's got a putt of about 40 feet up over the ridge, as Gary noticed. Very hard to get the right speed when you're putting from one level to the other. Be uphill for about 15 feet and then level off. He didn't have much trouble, did he?
I'd say that's the right speed, Rossi.
Going pretty hard when it hit the hole, but I'll tell you, that's some putt there. That's like finding one.
Well, finally a smile from Hale, and maybe that'll make up for some of those shorter misses that we saw yesterday. Sometimes you'd like to break one of those long ones up into about 5 or 6 short putts.
Mentioned Larry Gilbert with birdies at 12, 13, and 3 in a row at 14 to get it to 6 under par. Back to 12. Snead, eagle try.
JC putting from just over 20 feet. Slightly back up the hill. Hit it, hit it. Oh, just not quite enough speed.
But a tap-in birdie to get JC to -6 as well. Floyd at 17. Rossi?
Raymond will be putting down the hill, hit a beautiful shot right over the flag. 12 feet. Shouldn't really do too much. As we noted yesterday, the greens are a whole lot better this year than they were last year. I think the conditions are a little tougher this year, but with the greens being a little better, I think that's why they're shooting pretty low. Raymond might be the best downhill putter I've ever seen. He seems to make a lot more going downhill than he does coming uphill.
Back to 12, January.
January's had another great drive. He's driven the ball beautifully all day long. Has 219 to this hole. He's kind of leaning his start to the right.
Wind's blowing that way, so the chances of it turning back are not good.
Well, he's caught this bunker over here, but he has a good lie. Not a lot of green to work with, but he's going back up into the wind, so it might be an easier shot.
Colbert now ready.
Jimmy has almost the same shot that Don had. He likes to move the ball left to the right, and that's the way the wind's blowing. It caught January's ball. And he's played a little bit lower with the draw. Well, that's really a pretty good golf shot. That's not Jim's favorite kind of shot. He pulled it off very, very nicely.
Jim Colbert, he won here in 91, again in 92, trying to become the only 3-time champion of the Vantage Championship and narrow that money race against Hale Irwin.
We had an electric water heater, and it would turn cold after about the second shower. I can't have all 3 of us take a shower within the same hour because it runs out quick.
We do run out of hot water. I would recommend the gas water heater over the electric water heater.
Now with the gas water heater, I can count on that it'll always be hot.
Heats the water a lot quicker.
For the 3rd person and probably 4th and 5th person, and it's going to be cheaper.
Life is like a home. You put a good foundation on a home, it stays very stable. If you put a bad foundation, it breaks down. We try to give kids a good foundation so they can become good people. When you do something for somebody else, especially a kid, you get an invisible trophy from heaven that is good for the soul.
You know, on the senior PGA Tour, we're all a bunch of kids. And life to us is all about laughing, playing, and learning.
Mr. Stockman, can you help me?
Sure. We need to do everything we can for kids in this day and age, and that's why I'm so proud to know that our tournament, the Senior Players Championship in Detroit, benefits so many children. You know, through the Boy Scouts, they're able to learn pride, honor, and achievement. Sometimes it only takes one spark to ignite a future.
On the tee at the par 3 17th. Gary playing to 188 yards. Hobday.
Simon's normal shot is right to left, so if he's going to get this ball close, he's got to flirt with that bunker. Oh, that's a great shot. Great shot. Started it slightly right of the flag and turned it right in.
Tee at 13, J.C. Snead, 6 under.
J.C. also playing a 5-iron. And this ball looks like it's headed a little right. Oh, that's pretty good, though. We're seeing some good shots in these gusty wind conditions.
Back to 12, January.
January's got a perfect line. Well, he didn't get up over that stuff. That's too bad. I thought he'd do a little better than that. Actually hit that ball kind of quick.
For Don, the word quick, it's kind of an oxymoron.
Yeah, he doesn't do many things quickly, that's for sure.
But January's some story today, I can tell you. He's played beautiful golf. That silky swing that we've all known and loved, it seems to be back in the groove. Putted very well. That's the first mistake he's made.
Zarley, 5 under, even par today.
This is Zarley's 4th shot on this par 5. He's really played some kind of ragged golf all day just to stay kind of close to the lead. And that'll be for a par.
On a hole that was the easiest on the golf course yesterday, yielding more birdies than any other one.
Ahead to 15, Larry Gilbert. His approach.
This hole location today, Jim, is way in the back left portion of this green, and a lot of balls will come up short, just like that one underneath that ridge. Uphill second shot, difficult to carry it all the way back to that flagstick. Good look at Colbert stalking this putt.
Jimmy's got it from about 35 feet. It's a pretty level putt. Kind of comes uphill just a little bit. Looks like it'll move off that hill to his left some and then just flatten out right at the hole. Made a nice comeback after his bogey on 5. Stayed real steady. Couple of birdies. It's going to be real tough to shake. He loves this golf course, as you said earlier, Gary.
Well, he has that rare ability, Frank, it seems like, to really get himself up for the big events. A lot of guys try to get themselves up for the big tournaments and then seem to maybe get themselves up too much, kind of get in their own way and don't perform well, but Colbert certainly doesn't have a problem with that.
Well, he took a few weeks off. He said he played last week and played well. He just didn't score very well, and he was really ready this week. This is for an eagle.
Oh, never high enough.
No, he lost that left way off. Kind of gave that a roll.
Boy, that's a poor putt. That is a very poor putt. We don't see that often from Colbert.
Ahead to 18, Floyd, his second.
He has 285 to the middle of the green, 290 to the flag, so it's just a layup. Some people might be able to get here if they hit a real strong hook and let the wind take it off the tee, but These were just good drives, but they just are short of that spot where you can go.
Gary's Telestrator, presented by Just for Men, the leader in men's hair coloring, blends away gray in 5 minutes.
Let's take a look at what's happened here at the 18th hole. Earlier in the week, they had the tee location in this area on the back part of the front tee, and they've now moved it back here to this back tee, adding some 35 or 40 yards to the hole. And Jim, what's happened now, I think, is they've taken away the potential for some of the excitement on this finishing hole, making it a par 5 that now no one can reach into. They've taken away the players' options. They're all forced to lay up into the same location, kind of just short of these cross bunkers that come out about 100 yards short of the hole. Consequently, we're seeing almost everyone play a pitching wedge or a sand wedge third shot. Yes, the hole played under par yesterday, but there were only 4 bogeys, and I think if they had given the players some more options and we had seen some guys go for this green in 2, we'd probably see some balls being played out of this cross bunker in this location right here, or maybe out of these greenside bunkers, and we might even see some 6s. So I think they've perhaps made a mistake here by not allowing the players to have some different choices here at the 18th.
Back to 17, Simon Hobday to get it to 6 under. So Simon will leave as he arrived at -5. Back to Colbert now in his birdie bid.
Putt that will slip off just a little bit to the right, especially if it's not struck solidly. Well, he played more than enough break. And that, I would say, is giving a stroke back to the field there. Again, the easiest hole on the golf course yesterday. Stroke average of less than 4.5. And when you've got it right on the front edge of the green in 2, just putting up the hill, you would certainly expect to make no worse than bogey or birdie.
Larry Gilbert, who's birdied 4 of his last 5 holes. 2 back of January. So the 94 Vantage Championship winner will stay in the hunt at 5 under. Check it at 6 under. The 96 baseball playoffs on ESPN, and then there were just 8 teams competing, but only one becomes a World Series champion. ESPN and ESPN2 follow the road to the World Series with the wild card and division playoffs on ESPN continuing through that first week in October. Rossi?
Raymond has 105 yards to the hole, a wind coming out of the right and the flagstick all the way on the left, just over the bunker, but the greens are holding very well. You don't see players changing clubs much from 105 yards, but that wind is really deceptive. You really have to be sharp to know exactly where it's blowing.
Looks like he's gone from the pitching wedge to a good full sand wedge.
Good looking shot there.
Hale Irwin from exactly the same distance.
Sounds like Jeff Gordon getting ready for that Holly Farms 400, doesn't it?
Hale. I'd say Hale's pulled that one out. He pushed it a little bit. Kind of hung it out to the right.
Both Hale and Raymond at 6 under, 2 back. Averaging 72,000 per event. Colbert now 7 under. January bogey 12, so they are tied at -7.
Shot that just drifted away with the wind, just missed the green right, but not too bad.
Gil Morgan 3 under at 18.
That was from 95 yards.
was talking about the solid golf that Don has been playing. 5 under yesterday and 3 under on the front side. His only bogey came a second ago at 12.
I don't know, he just kind of had a lapse, I think, Jim. He's very, very good in sand traps. Maybe tried to play it a little too thin, and then he winds up with a bogey. Sometimes that's the result, even after all of these years of not playing a lot of golf. He's had some spots off this year. This is a 6-iron. Depends on the front right of the green. That ball started to the right. Another sand trap. Almost exactly the same shot he had.
That cost him the bogey. Gary Player, who won the Vantage Championship in 1989, shot a 65 today. Gary's in the house, tied for the lead at 7 under. Since joining the PGA Tour in 1973, Dr. Gil Morgan has silently etched his name in golfing history. In his 4th season, Dr. Gil captured his first PGA Tour title, winning the BC Open. Along the way, this licensed doctor of optometry took 6 more tour titles. He made 2 Ryder Cup teams in '79 and again in 1983. But he might be most remembered for his collapse at the 1992 United States Open, where Morgan blew a giant lead over the final 29 holes. The good doctor has the potential for greatness. In fact, the only thing that will keep him from reaching the senior winner's circle is inconsistency from his short game. This week, Morgan is making his debut here on the Senior PGA Tour, and the golfing world looks forward to seeing what the doctor's prescription for success might be.
Bayer presents Powerful Relief and so much more. Winless in 15 months and nursing a sore back, George Archer returned to form by grabbing the lead at the Toshiba Classic. But his lead was short-lived as Dave Stockton pulled even. Facing a tough chip at 16, Archer needs some relief.
Bayer, powerful pain relief, and so much more.
With the odds stacked against him, Archer survived a gut check with a par at 16 and sealed the victory with a tournament-winning birdie on 17. Bayer salutes George Archer, who got powerful relief and so much more.
Lower your right foot and repeat after me. I promise to be free. I promise to be different. I promise to take the other path. I promise to be unique. I promise to drive an Eldorado with a 300-horsepower North Star V8, a suspension that reads faster than Evelyn Wood, and a body that parts traffic. Eldorado with the North Star system by Cadillac.
How far can MasterCard take you? Here in Australia, MasterCard takes you into the future. The new MasterCard Cash Card. A MasterCard you can use just like cash. It's happening right now down under, and it's on its way here.
Welcome back at 18. Floyd to tie for the lead. Rossi?
Coming down the hill again. I think he hit that one pretty well and just misread it.
He thought he had it.
I believe he did. Anytime we see him start walking that way, he's looking for it to hit the bottom of the cup. One of the areas of his game he worked the hardest on, Jim, when he went through that kind of mini slump through the spring. Made that short game video and decided that he wasn't doing some of the things he was telling the other people to do in that video with his own putting.
What did he tell us? He was teaching the masses. He went back and taught himself, retaught himself a moment before. This was Irwin. So both Floyd and Hale shot 2 under 69s yesterday and 4 under 67s today. They are both in the house at -6. Gil Morgan. Back to Colbert at 13.
Pretty simple little chip out of that short fringe. I know he was thinking pitching that one, and he'd already pitched one in today. Very, very good around the greens.
Look at this stance for Larry Gilbert a moment ago at 16.
Now, this is not good, Jim. This is one of those fairway bunkers that guards the left-hand side. Almost impossible shot.
So Gil Morgan is tapped in at 18. He joins Dave Stockton and Frank Connor in at 3 under par. The winner of the Boone Valley Classic, Gibby Gilbert, shot a 4 under 67. He's in at -4. Irwin and Raymond in at 6 under. Player with that 65, tied for the lead with Colbert and January in the day's last group. Back to Frank at 13.
This is for a par. Another poor bunker shot. Yeah, that'll be 2 bogeys in a row. Kind of hope it's not coming unraveling for Don, but he hasn't looked real steady on these last 2 holes.
Larry Gilbert's third at the par 4 16th.
Playing a pitching wedge from just over 100 yards. Very accessible pin placement today at 16. So a good shot from Gilbert and a chance to save par.
Miller Barber, Don Bees, Bob Charles, Buddy Allen, all in at 2 under. And the 93 Vantage champion, Lee Trevino, shot a 70 today. Lee's in at -1, despite the fact he's not feeling well. I mean, he just sounds like he could sing the national anthem at one of those baseball games on ESPN. And he's got that Robert Merrill throat going, isn't it?
Yes, he does. Very congested.
Of course, the MasterCard Grand Masters Championship for the Super Seniors, 60 and over, decided today. Dale Douglas, who did that double dip at the Bell Atlantic, won the MasterCard title, won the tournament proper. Dick Hendrickson won at the Bank of Boston up at Nishatic a couple of weeks ago.
And how about this? No bones about your age. Shot his age for the very first time yesterday in the first round, 66. And he's only the 3rd person to do it all this year on the senior tour. Mike Fetchick has shot his age or better 6 times, and the same for Joe Jimenez.
And he's got a little annuity going with the MasterCard Super Seniors title.
Yeah, I think he's already won 5 times here, that separate division event.
Actually got into a little bit of a dispute with his caddy yesterday. His caddy said, "You just shot your age." And they said, "No, I didn't."
That's right. Heath was still thinking that par was 72 rather than 71. January thought he had only shot 67.
Raymond over there signing some autographs, saying what, that 800 number for that short game video as well.
That's right. What's the title, Jim? Cutting Strokes, I think it is. Saw it the other day in a Blockbuster video store for the first time.
Bruce Devlin had that great round yesterday, a 5 under 66, but a disastrous front side made the turn at -1 after he bogeyed 9.
Long putt for a birdie here at 14.
Tee at 14, tied for the lead.
It's a tough driving hole, dogleg right. That wind's blowing left to right today.
Keep coming, Bo. The wind's
You heard him keep coming. That's a nice drive. It just doesn't kind of got in a little light rough. It's okay there. Good lie.
Oh, that's in that little light rough.
J.C. Snead up on the green. He is 6 under and 1 back.
Taking the putter out of the closely cut fringe. Down the hill. Oh, boy. Power failure there.
DeWitt Weaver in this group is at 4 under par. Meanwhile, back on the tee is Zarley, who's also at 4 under. He's bogeyed 2 of his last 4. The wind taking its toll.
It is. Kirby just hasn't played well today. I mentioned that just a little bit earlier. In fact, he could have been 3 or 4 shots worse. He's made some nice recoveries. He's been around a long time, though. All it takes is one good shot, maybe one nice long putt, and your confidence is back. Well, that's pretty typical right there. It's not going to happen this hole.
Catches the fairway bunker, one of two that guards the left-hand side of this dogleg right hole. Trees on the corner there, you can just see down the right-hand side of the tee. That's the ideal line. You want to take it right over the top of those.
And that's exactly where January is going to start it, I think. Yeah, he's kind of leaning too. All three of them have gone a little bit left. That might have got between the two traps, Gary. I couldn't quite pick it
Frank, I think it actually caught the second of the two bunkers. Appears to have a good lie, though, so shouldn't be a real problem.
Well, they're smiling in Detroit because Jim Colbert, who's won this Vantage Championship twice, has also captured 2 Cadillac Series crowns, and Colbert's tied for the lead.
Only one turns on the power like Fred Couples. Only one makes the impossible routine. Only one transforms iron into gold. Only one performs like this. Seville STS with the North Star system. A great performer creates a higher standard.
As a member of the Callaway staff, they came to me with the new Big Bertha iron. Was I impressed? Well, I won the first week I played it. These new Big Bertha irons are a critical element in my game. Golf is a game of trust. I trust these new irons. The balance is right, the feel is right, the distance control is fantastic.
Big Bertha, how golf should feel.
When I got rid of my gray hair, I wanted a natural look, so I didn't take any chances. I used the sure thing for a natural look called Just for Men.
Apply Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. It's specially timed to blend away gray, bring back your natural look, and condition hair.
It's a sure thing.
Just for Men, the sure thing for a natural look. And now try Just for Men Color Gel for the hard-to-color hair of mustaches and beards. Brush in, rinse out. Just 5 minutes.
Tickets. Hey, tickets. Program. 5 minutes, people. Anybody see my teeth?
No, that wasn't good.
Hey, Peter, you're gonna be okay.
I don't know. I don't remember.
It's just stage fright, Peter.
Hey, you guys, I gotta run in my tights. You got any tights?
A little shiny here.
You see my teeth? No.
Oh my God, it's a packed house. Okay, places, everyone.
Man, they're booing us. What do you expect? It's a away game.
Welcome back to our second round coverage of the Vantage Championship. Player in the clubhouse with that sparkling 65, man that will turn 61 on November the 1st. And Raymond Floyd looms large, just one shot back. Rossi's got him at 18.
Raymond, it was a little tougher out there today, I thought. There weren't as many good scores, but 67 you shot was a good, solid one.
I played very well, Bob. I guess you saw me play the last 9, but I played pretty much the same in the front. I'm pleased with the way I'm striking the ball, and I'm putting the ball beautifully as well. I'm hitting the putts overall solid. The one at the last one was so good it just didn't take any of the break.
Raymond, you took a month off and sort of changed your routine. You did a lot of exercising and everything. That's a little out of your character, isn't it?
Well, I've done an exercise program, Bob, for a lot of years, but I'd been playing in some pain, and most of us out on this tour play in some pain, but I felt like maybe there was something that I could do about it with a stretching and exercise routine, and it seems to have helped. And I'll tell you what, it's great to go out and play and feel very good about what you're doing and feel well.
What about the rest of the year, Raymond? What are your plans?
I'm going out to Los Angeles next week, and then I'll play Pensacola and then the Tour Championship.
Well, it's great to see you playing well again, and you kind of, I haven't seen them all, but you look in the newspaper and you see your name down there in that bottom, not the bottom, but, not in the top 10, and it's not the Raymond Floyd that we know, and it's good to see you playing well again.
Thanks, Bob. I appreciate it. I don't like to be down there either.
Best of luck tomorrow.
Thanks a lot.
Raymond, who won the Senior Slam to start the year, won at the TPC of Michigan, Senior Players Championship. Colbert now 7 under par.
Jimmy's caught a good line this little short Bermuda rough.
Got it, my brother.
Should be able to spin it. 142 to the hole. Pins in the back right-hand part of the green. It's a little hard to hold if you can't spin it. That sounded pretty crisp, but it's in the middle of the green. I don't think he had that in mind. January has also caught a good line in this bunker. 137. He's a little further left. He's got a better look at the hole. He'll just take an 8-iron. Well, that sounded a little fat too. Well, he heard him say fat. Now he's got a tough, oh man, he's got a tough up and down now to keep from making 3 straight bogeys.
It's also tightening things up in the MasterCard Grand Masters competition. Tournament within a tournament, because for those 60 and over, they play 36 holes, and that championship is decided today. Larry Gilbert now in his par putt at 16.
What a great par this would be after that horrendous lie on his second shot. Oh. That's disappointing, Jim. That's the easiest par 4 on the back 9, the 16th. It's short, 359 yards, and it's a birdie hole if you drive in the fairway.
Former winner of the Bank of Boston Senior Classic at Nishatic, Bob Bedley. 3 under starting the day. He's 2 over today. Noted artist out in Idaho. Does a lot of Western art, Indian art, right?
Well, and that's going to bounce right through the back of the green. Another instance where the wind gusted right as the ball was in the air, helped it. The ball ended up going some 8 or 10 yards farther than he expected.
At 15, Rick Acton's birdie try.
Should move just a little left. Oh.
That'll stay, keep him at 4 under par. Hungry for a win, you bet.
Well, he certainly has had a couple of chances earlier in the year. Down in Florida, he was in contention. His best finish was tied for 3rd at the Royal Caribbean right at the very start of the season. And I think it'll be just a matter of time until Rick Acton comes away with that first win.
Bruce Devlin, of course, cracked through at the Ojai Valley Inn in that playoff against Dave Eichelberger last year. Another playoff at Ojai this year. Walt Morgan outdueled Gary Player. Laddie's had a couple of runner-ups at San Antonio this year, too. In the clubhouse, tied for the lead right now with Colbert at 7 under.
Good look from behind here what Don January faces. This not an easy pitch shot up this hill.
Gary, he's just got, it's just a, it's almost a miserable shot. He's got all this Bermuda and right in front of him, then he has to clear the fringe, and right over the fringe there's a little rise that throws the ball up and straight left. I don't think he can carry over that and hope to get the ball to stop close. I believe he has to play into that little rise and hope that it bounces.
Seems like the tendency most of the time when you're playing uphill like this is to leave the ball short. So let's see what January can do. Well, they played it nicely, just the way you said, Frank. Well, right into the hump.
That's just perfect. I can't tell you what a good golf shot that was. That was just marvelous, especially after making 2 straight bogeys.
Tee at the par 3 17th, 188 yards, Larry Gilbert.
They're trying to move the ball from left to right, hold it up against that right to left wind. And he's done it pretty nicely. That's a good shot.
In at 5 under par is Simon Hobday. Gibby Gilbert finished at 4, the winner of the Boone Valley Classic. Stockton, Connor, Gil Morgan all in at -3. And in the MasterCard Grand Masters, Gary Player, 65. So January finding the beach on 3 straight holes at 12, 13, and 14, spending a little cash.
Well, he's certainly making it interesting. And, of course, Gary Player already in the clubhouse. He can't make any more bogeys.
Snead, second at 15. JC is 6 under.
JC's driven it in one of the 2 bunkers that guards the right-hand side of this hole. That's actually a pretty good shot from that position.
Back to Colbert at 14.
This is from 40 feet. Kind of starts out downhill and then goes right straight back up the rise that January had to negotiate, then back down to the pin. Jimmy has a lot of strong suits, and one of them is lag putting. Always been very, very good at getting these putts close.
Back with Colbert's par putt. Also, Hale Irwin will join us, the 95 Vantage Championship champion. He had 3 bogey-free rounds a year ago when he took home that $225,000 first-place check. Hale and Raymond in 1 shot behind Colbert and Gary Player.
You know what? You know what they say? You are what you eat. So that would make us snacks. Definitely. Now, we're these new bread crisps from Healthy Choice. There's actual flavor here. You know, you can see it right there. I'm cinnamon raisin. Very sweet. And I'm garlic herb. Sassy. Get this, 11 crisps, 2 grams of fat. 2. The crunch is like crunch. We just get carried away. With Healthy Choice, we eat what we like. Because that's just who we are. Woo!
Firestone has developed a new tire technology so advanced they use it on Indy cars in the worst possible condition, the rain. And if it can handle 172 miles per hour wet, 55 is a piece of cake. Introducing the Firehawk SC50, made possible by Unity, our ultimate tire technology, and by a tread patterned after our original Firehawk Indy rain tire, the Firehawk SC50, for the rain, for the road.
Endless meetings in Munich, difficult clients in Milan and Prague. You get to Delhi, and it's the rainy season. Yet you remember it as an unusually good trip. But then, it wasn't just your usual airline. Most anywhere in the world business takes you, you can experience the attentive, reliable service of Lufthansa. Welcome aboard.
Yes, it's back. Racing's most intense high-speed shootout of the year. Winston Cup's hottest night kicks off with the Winston Sportsman 100 and the Winston Select Open. Then, when the moon rises on the Winston Select, the action shifts into high gear as an all-star cast of Winston Cup warriors battle it out towards the ultimate 10-lap showdown. Be part of this sellout event. Call for your tickets today.
Colbert and his par putt at 14 to stay tied with Player for the lead.
Jimmy's been real solid on these for 2 days now. The only way he ever misses them is when he moves on them. I haven't seen him do it yet.
Like you said, Frank, very solid. A birdie at 10 got him to 7 under and all par since then. As you check that leaderboard, Hale Irwin, of course, the defending champion, man that was Rookie of the Year on the Senior PGA Tour a year ago, been #1 on the money list. I can't remember the last time he wasn't. You go back to 2 victories so far for Hale. #1, averaging $72,000 per start. Hale Irwin has demonstrated some pretty nifty moves on the golf course and some even more impressive ones off it. Hale was an all Big 8 defensive back at the University of Colorado in the mid-'60s, where he also played on the golf team. Recently, he sat down to reminisce about his days as a college football hero.
Okay. Wow, number 10. Number 1 on your program. Yes, this looks like our regular 53 defense we played. Straight drop back. See, that was just a poor pass, but he threw it right to me. I like that. But look at that leaping ability. 6 inches off the ground.
Yeah, that's funny. I can remember that play as vividly today as I did then.
And here's what they call the true field general. See, here we go. That way. I was a traffic cop even then.
I've always been into athletics, and there's that adrenaline surge that golf just can't satisfy. You're quickly satisfied in football. You know, that first hit really kind of woke me up. You know, the first round, the bell rung, I got it across the cheek. I'm awake up now.
Well, obviously, there's some of us wish he'd gotten hit a few times or given harder hits out so he wouldn't be such a good golfer.
I just gotten beaten up as a sophomore. I'd played a lot of football, and I'd hurt my shoulder in the Missouri game. I'd never quit, even though it was difficult. I just felt like I owed that to myself to continue on and not to take what, at least in my world, I thought was the easy way out. And I stayed with it, and I'm glad I did. Not necessarily because it helped my golf game directly, but I think it helped me as an individual, and secondarily, indirectly, it helped my golf game.
You know what was fun? Watching you. What kind of memories did that piece conjure up?
Well, it sort of takes you back to some, what I was watching. This time where it was some of the players that I played with, and remembering those guys, because in a team competition, it truly is a team, because you're just part of 11 men on the field. And you know, I saw some players there, Sam Harris, who was an All-American and went on to play with the Saints, and a lot of those players, 7 of the 11 players when I was a senior on that team went on to play in the pros. On the defensive unit went on to play in the pros. So we were pretty good defensively, and I was just a part of that. But it does bring back a lot of memories, and some of those memories I think really have helped my golf. As I said in the piece, I think it's the effort that I had to put out, and some of the disciplines, and you know, when it's not easy on the golf course, you have to harken back to some of those lessons learned long ago, and it wasn't easy playing football.
Hale, in at 6 under par, 1 off the lead. I know you were bothered by the flu coming in. Are you surprised you're playing and scoring this well, given the fact you had the flu and you weren't feeling 100%?
Well, I really got the bug back in St. Louis at the Boone Valley Classic, and I've just sort of kicked it around ever since, and I just can't seem to shake it. But at the same time, I don't feel awful. I just don't feel really up to the way I want to feel, and some of that I think comes from some of the golf shots I'm hitting, and I think if you hit better golf shots and you score better, you suddenly feel a lot better.
Well, Hale, that putt you hit at 17 was pretty good. Now, what happened there?
Well, you know, I got over the putt, and you don't ever expect to make those, and you think, well, maybe you'll get lucky, and all of a sudden I just got this this feeling that I'm going to make this, and a very fleeting feeling, and it went in, and you kind of think, well, why don't you get those more often? Why don't those come? But I sort of like hitting by a good truck. You know, a good truck ran over, you ran a bad truck, and oftentimes we struggle over short putts, the ones you think you should make. But this one just felt right, and I don't know, it's a little spooky sometimes.
Leading on the money list for so long, has that taken any kind of a toll mentally, or is that something you just push aside and say, I'm just taking it one tournament, I'm wait and see the last couple?
Well, it's easy to say that. I think certainly my schedule has been predicated upon leading the money list, and it will be the same finishing out the year. And if I could have a couple of good tournaments here pretty soon, of course, a couple of good tournaments, we're about out of tournaments anyway, but this is a big week for me, but I intend to play at least 3 more, and whether I play 4 or 5 it kind of depends.
We'll watch the numbers. Good luck tomorrow in the final round. Hale's in, 1 shot off the lead after that sparkling 67 today, number 1 on the money list, and we're watching Larry Gilbert now in his birdie try. Gary out at 17.
Downhill putt should turn a little to his left. Right in the heart if he just hits it.
J.C. Snead also 1 off the lead, his birdie try.
Putting up and over this ridge at 15. Good pin placement there today. We've seen very few players get the ball back to that hole location.
January applying the tourniquet.
Tough driving hole with that wind blowing across today.
Blowing across left to right, and that's where January's ball's gone to the right. It caught the cart path. Looks like he's going to have tree trouble.
Don January 1 shot off the lead. Ditto J.C. Snead in trailing by 1. Raymond Floyd and Hale Irwin. Hobday's in at 5.
A new day. What's on your to-do list? Isn't it time you had a for you list? Get a Jimmy by GMC. It helps you do the things you have to do. And now with the $1,500 you'll save in your Jimmy SLT, you'll have a little something extra to do some things for you. Like pick up some sticks, polish the new silver, or just get out of town.
See your Triad GMC dealer today.
My name is Arnie.
Hi, Arnie.
I just bought a Honda Accord and I feel guilty.
My name is Vera. Hi, Vera. I just got an Accord and I feel guilty.
My name is Dave. I just bought an Accord. I feel guilty.
Should you feel guilty getting the first car you look at? Not when it's got the quality and reliability of the Honda Accord.
I've owned 3 Accords and I feel great.
Make it easy on yourself and see your Honda dealer first.
Soon, you'll be able to know immediately if statements like these are true. Mr. Gullible. ESPN News Network, the 24-hour sports news network from ESPN. Who else?
Mike Tirico in our ESPN studios. We'll get you right back to golf, but for the moment, let's check what's happening in baseball. The Orioles a chance to clinch the American League wild card this afternoon, taking on the Blue Jays in Skydome. Roberto Alomar, who was suspended but appealed the suspension, thus it didn't take effect because he spit in an umpire's face yesterday. Today, he clinches the playoff spot with this 10th inning homer. So Baltimore wins 3-2. Cleveland plays Baltimore in the divisional playoffs. The Rangers will meet the Yankees. San Diego, LA tied at 2 in the 7th. You see the situation for the Padres, 1 behind the Dodgers for the division, ahead in the wild card. If there's a game of significance involving National League playoff spots, we'll bring it to you tomorrow on The Deuce between 1 and 4 and on ESPN between 4 and 7. In college football today, the headline story in Iowa State's 45-31 win over Missouri, Troy Davis, 378 yards. That is the 3rd best single-game rushing performance by a Division I-A back. Only Tony Sands and Marshall Faulk have run for more in a game. In the Big Ten, Wisconsin and Penn State. Penn State has led this game right throughout, but the freshman back Ron Dane has electrified the crowd in Madison. This touchdown run put Wisconsin within 3, and they've just kicked a field goal to tie Penn State, rallying from down 10. Michigan will beat UCLA. Ohio State beat Notre Dame in South Bend by 13 points. Florida easily. North Carolina, a tough one. Colorado beating A&M. Now back to golf.
Back at 15, January, Frank.
Well, he's driven it well right of the fairway. We can see that. He got a pretty good break. He caught a good lie, and he's got a clear shot at the hole from about 150 yards. The ball is in some of that light, fluffy rough, so he just has to watch a flyer. Well, it's come out low, and it's come out right at the hole. Oh, he's got it like that. Yeah, he's got it like that. That's a good shot.
Frank, Don was off earlier in the year with a broken bone in his shoulder and hasn't had a chance to play. Does he look like he's maybe tiring a little bit to you?
Well, his swing, he's quit on his swing, Gary. Maybe we'll get a chance to look at it in the tally somewhere down the road here. He's not finishing his turn left on those irons that went to the right and that tee ball there, and that could be tiring. I'm just not quite sure. He moves so slowly always, you're never sure whether he's tired or just regular Don.
Zarley, 4 under.
From the middle of the fairway, 157 yards. And he's left that to the right. It's coming back a little bit.
And another ball short. Boy, we've seen very few balls carry all the way up to that hole.
Now, Jimmy's just hit a great drive here. He took it right across the pond, let his left to right movement take it over, moved it with the wind. He's got 123 to the pin. He's off the downslope there a little bit. I don't think he's going to have any trouble getting it all the way back if he goes ahead and swings at it. Looks like he's got a 9-iron. He just kind of come out of there low and should hop right up to the hole. Well, I think that's up. Good shot. Really a good shot.
That's all that's remaining to take the lead. Colbert, only 2 bogeys in the entire tournament so far. Here at 18, Mike Hill, 4 under par. Chance to join Simon Hobday in at -5. So he'll go into 4 under along with Gibby Gilbert. Tee at 17, Rick Acton. Pretty good baseball player when he played for the Huskies out at Washington University, Rick Acton.
Rick's really made a nice recovery here in the last month or so, playing some very good golf, and has moved himself up to 27th on the money list. Of course, he needs to finish in the top 31 if he's going to stay exempt for the senior tour next year.
Well, the best non-pro golfers take to the links with a chance to play in next year's Masters and U.S. Open tournaments. Jerry Corville of Milford, Connecticut, back to defend, trying to become only the second player in the history of the mid-amateur to defend his title. They'll be playing at the Tumblebrook Country Club in Bloomfield, Connecticut, and the Hartford Golf Club in West Hartford, the U.S. Golf mid-amateur.
You know who the other one was who won too? He plays out here on the senior tour.
Give me another clue.
He also won some U.S. amateurs.
Jay Sigel.
You got it. Good shot from Acton.
Do I get one of those gift packs?
Absolutely. Yours will be on the way.
I have to feel sorry for the double here. He has really hit the wall, hasn't he?
Well, he continues to struggle, Jim. He shows some flashes of good play, but he just doesn't seem to be able to do it round after round. Great shot there, but a little bit too late, I'm afraid.
Gilbert, third here at 18. Larry's 5 under.
Well, this is not an easy shot to get close. Playing out of the left rough, not much green to work with. And he got a little cute, tried to carry the ball short and bounce it up there, and it just stuck in that Bermuda rough.
What a weird day weather-wise. We've had sunshine, we've had clouds, we've had darkness, we've had no wind, little wind, lots of wind.
Well, I think everyone probably a little bit surprised that we've been able to get the golf in as we have.
I'm up there.
Yeah, I'd say around later this afternoon we'll be in an arc.
January's next to putt here. He's got a ball that comes up over the hill from about 27 feet. He's got to be feeling pretty good now. Even after the earlier bogeys, he made a real great par on the last hole. He hit a tee ball here that could have been, it could have been double bogey kind of spot. And while he doesn't have a realistic chance for a birdie, he's got a chance to kind of slow the bleeding here. Up over that hill down to the right.
Whoa.
Wow,
Whoa.
that thing exploded. Oh, did that explode. Now that's a sign to me there, Gary, of getting tired. That's when your mind just is not with the rest of you.
Well, it often starts with the physical tiredness, and then that creeps into the mind. Combination of the two, not good.
5 under par. DeWitt Weaver's third at the par 4 16th.
Missed the green from 110 yards.
Back to Colbert, Frank.
Well, Jimmy's got a very makeable birdie putt, and he deserves it after that second shot. Just a little bit downhill. Looks like it might want to even try to go left some, but it's pretty straight down that hill, I think.
Snead, 6 under at 16.
Hit a tremendous drive here. He only was 70 yards to the hole. Played a beautiful shot, almost went in the hole.
Colbert tapped in to stay tied at 7 under with Gary Player, who's in the clubhouse, having already signed his scorecard with that 6 under 65. Did Laddie, the '89 champion here. Another solid effort by JC. Devlin, 5 under yesterday, 5 over today. You call that 900 number. You're liable to get something other than a golf tip today, huh?
Well, I mentioned it a little bit, Jim. He's just been inconsistent throughout his senior tour career.
Getting a little darker here in Clemens, North Carolina at Tanglewood Park, the home venue for 10 years of this Vantage Championship. This week's Vantage Championship marks the 33rd of 39 official events on the Senior PGA Tour calendar. The season began in Puerto Rico with John Bland winning his first, the first of 3 events for 1996. Along the way, 20 different seniors have reached the winner's circle. 10 are multiple winners so far, with John Bland and Jim Colbert leading the way with 3 titles so far apiece. But only one senior has tasted victory for his first time. Rookie Vicente Fernandez rose from golfing obscurity to Senior PGA Tour champion after capturing the Burnett Senior Classic in the Twin Cities earlier this year. Fernandez will join the other 19 senior champions next year to open off the 1997 season at Hualalai Resort for the MasterCard Championship, to be seen right here on ESPN starting January 17th.
What does your copier think of the paper you put in it?
Oh, good. He's coming to feed me. I'm starving. Oh, no. It's not great white paper. No, I'm really going to get in a jam.
Copiers worry about the paper you feed them, so Union Camp created Great White recycled content paper. It's virtually worry-free, so it's as good for your business as it is for the environment. Great White, only from Union Camp. One less thing to worry about.
He's got to change my diet.
Are we having a bad day?
Now, here's some welcome news. It's not age that slows most of us down. It's usually not eating right. New Resource helps guarantee you get the nutrition you need to be your best every day. Improve your diet. Improve your life with New Resource, the liquid nutritional food. And here comes more good news. Resource is the only nutritional drink with fresh fruit flavors and no fat. Only from Resource.
So?
He said he wants more control.
Oh, boy.
Told me he's looking for faster response and more security.
Then he's leaving the firm?
No. He's getting a Cadillac DeVille.
Now DeVille is better than ever, because now it has the North Star system and its extraordinary combination of comfort, safety, security, and performance. Nothing else feels like DeVille from Cadillac.
I suppose he'll want a better parking space, too.
After making that birdie putt at the par 4 16th to tie for the lead, J.C. Snead tee at the par 3 17th.
How do you like that one? Get there.
Oh, couldn't be played any better. Carried it.
Some beautiful shot there, Gary.
Some beautiful back nine, eh, Rossi?
Yes, J.C. has played very, very well.
Could have gone in, probably my sister would have clapped.
JC with that positive attitude, huh?
About all those aches and pains. What does he say? He's from the part of the country that they just wait for it to drop off or heal. Larry Gilbert's 4th shot here at 18.
Chipping out of that Bermuda rough, and it is not easy, even though it's not that deep. He decelerated on that and caught some grass.
Rick Acton to go to 5 under just a second ago. Back to even par. He survived that double bogey back at 6. Larry Gilbert now, his 5th shot.
Should move a little to his right. He just didn't quite get it high enough, and boy, is that a disappointing way to finish with a bogey on the par 5 18th.
Bogeyed 16, bogeyed 18, in at -4, along with Mike Hill and Gibby Gilbert. Back to Bones.
Now he's staring right down the throat of the pin from 113 yards. Just a little wedge shot. That's a nice shot. Good birdie putt from there.
Just a second ago at 17, Bruce Devlin.
Coming off a nice birdie there at 16.
Oh, look at this. Go in the hole. Oh. Easily the best shot we've seen today at 17.
The marshals up here waved it safe. I don't know what they mean by safe, but I think that's a little better than safe.
January, one more birdie to tie Gary Player in the MasterCard Grand Masters Championship. That tournament ends today for the Super Seniors. Player, of course, already in with that 65. Gary won here back in 1989. Hale Irwin won last year. Colbert's won here twice. Horses for courses?
Well, certainly could be. Of course, when you talk about the caliber of those players, they've won on all kinds of courses.
Colbert.
107 yards, just a little bit downwind.
Got a good break there. Ball easily could have stuck up in that longer Bermuda grass. Instead, it spins back to a makeable birdie putt.
NASCAR superstar Jeff Gordon joined golfing legend Arnold Palmer in the Pro-Am here on Thursday at Tanglewood. It was a learning experience, as 67-year-old Arnie taught 24-year-old Winston Cup points leader Jeff Gordon a few things on driving a golf ball.
Well, Jeff, can I interrupt you just for a second here? Looks like you're hitting that ball pretty good. What do you, what kind of chance do you give yourself this week in this tournament?
Well, I get lucky every once in a while, so if luck has anything to do with it, I got a little bit of that on my side right now.
Well, you're doing, hey, in that department, you're doing very well. I'm talking with the golf club and the ball now.
No, that side of it, we're in serious trouble, and I do mean we, because I'm playing with you. So.
Well, we're going to have an emergency session right here, and we'll probably win.
Well, yeah, I'm sure if you give me some tips, we'll be in good shape.
Okay, well. You don't have any problems.
Jeff Gordon going for his 10th win this year. They'll all be there at the Tyson Holly Farms 400, not far from here. Wilkesboro, North Carolina, around that speedway, 400 laps, 250 miles. Mark it down tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern time, 10 o'clock out west. Wake up, have your second cup of coffee, and watch Jeff Gordon in action at the Tyson Holly Farms 400. Devlin, who was that close to joining the field at the Aruba Aces Championship. All those seniors who get hole-in-ones compete on the beautiful island of Aruba. Ed Snead had 3 hole-in-ones. Does that mean he gets 3 shots at it each
Well,
hole?
it should. He's qualified 3 different times.
And by the way, he's figured that out.
I would imagine.
1 under par, and now another birdie to get it to -2 for Bruce. J.C. Snead tied for the lead. Here he is at 17.
Almost made a hole-in-one and was the furthest away. Tough group.
Putting downhill, chance to take the lead. There it is.
What a back 9. Birdies at 11, 12, 16, and 17. And certainly 18 is birdieable by Jesse.
Well, it is indeed, Jim. In yesterday's first round, the back 9 played more than a stroke easier than the front 9. So if you're going to make a move, the back 9 is the place to do it here at Tanglewood.
Back to the last threesome at 16.
Culver doing a lot of surveying here, looking at this putt from every angle.
It's not an easy putt to read. Of course, it's not a long putt, but it kind of comes down the hill. I think they could play the ball too far to the right. It's almost a straight putt. It's hard to hit it as firmly as you'd like to. It's one of the few putts that are a little quick on this green.
Take a good look here at the greens. They were a little soft yesterday, and we're starting to see maybe just a few little areas of indentations, but a lot of the guys in the field wearing soft spikes, and that certainly has made a difference.
Just a second ago before Colbert, this was Don January.
Oh.
That's about as much emotion as you're going to get out of Don January. He was around when the senior tour started back in 1980. Back then, there were just 2 events, $125,000 each. A win here, just about worth that much.
Nick Price plays Precept EV Extra Spin for its extra distance, but he also likes its extra feel and consistency. Isn't it time you put something extra in your game?
How far can MasterCard take you? Here in Australia, MasterCard takes you into the future. The new MasterCard Cash Card. A MasterCard you can use just like cash. It's happening right now down under, and it's on its way here.
Lower your right foot and repeat after me. I promise to be free. I promise to be different. I promise to take the other path. I promise to be unique. I promise to drive an Eldorado with a 300 horsepower North Star V8, a suspension that reads faster than Evelyn Wood, and a body that parts traffic. Eldorado with the North Star system by Cadillac.
Ray Floyd plays Precept EV Extra Spin for its extra feel and consistency, but he also likes its extra distance. Isn't it time you put something extra in your game?
And a controversial move. NASCAR officials have awarded Speed Racer the pole for his next start. That's based upon his recent victory in the Transylvania 1000.
Wait. Transy who? Well, who'd he beat? Racer X? Everybody knows that's his brother.
Actually, it didn't look like the officials were going to give me credit for the race until my friend Jeff Gordon put in a good word for me.
Well, it was a 1,000-mile race.
It's unfair to all the other teams. Earnhardt did.
Go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go!
Welcome back with our leader at the home hole.
If he hits a swinging hook, he's got a chance to take a shot at it.
He may have come off of it a little bit up the right side.
That's too short, Gary. He has no chance to go at it from there.
'17, playing 188 yards. Zarley off his birdie.
Well, it should be no more than a 5-iron for Kermit. The wind's begun to die down just a little bit. It's still a factor, but it wasn't what it was an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, come on, man.
Just a little bit right to left. Greens are in the best condition we've seen them in a long time, which also means they're holding the iron shots a little better than normal. This green's been known to throw a ball that hits up on that back level into the back fringe every time. We've seen some pretty good shots this week up there. Now, he didn't like it. It's going to be pretty far left.
Zarley will head to one of his favorite layouts. We'll be in Napa for the Trans-Americas, the Cadillac Series, Motors Out West. He's won there a couple times.
Yeah, one on the regular tour and also on the senior tour.
Now, Colbert's got a shot that's right in his wheelhouse. The wind's blowing right to left. He loves to take these long irons, move them left to right. He'll take a 4-iron, play at the center of the green, and cut it right against the wind. Gary, when it hits, it should land like a feather. And it's got to get up just a little bit. Oh, good shot. Good shot.
Beautiful shot. Boy, and he continues to give himself numerous birdie opportunities. Just what we talked about at the top of the show, Jim. He plays some beautiful iron shots into these relatively small greens.
January, 6 under.
It's not an easy shot for Don. He likes to go right to left. Of course, that pins on that back right. He can put the ball in the center and kind of hold it right against the pin. It won't be a cut shot necessarily, but should be held up against the hook. That's a good safe shot. In fact, that's not a bad birdie opportunity.
Gary's Telestrator, presented by Just for Men, the leader in men's hair coloring. Blends away gray in 5 minutes.
Let's take a look at the swing of 66-year-old Don January. First of all, notice the flex in the knees. I think that's a position that a lot of players, average players, don't ever get into. Beautiful extension of the left arm and the club and the shaft, making a straight line. And as we watch the club move away, watch how low it stays going back. Big, full turn. And look as he reaches the top here. Don January's club is actually short of parallel. In the old days, that club would have been pointed down here somewhere. Some say he's swinging better now than he ever has. Here's where I think he's getting in a little bit of trouble. A little bit too much slide going forward. And then it seems like his arms have been running out away from his body coming through. That's where he's hung those shots out to the right. But you can see here he turns through nicely on this swing and gets all the way through to the finish. And I think that's why we saw a very good shot there from Don January.
10 PGA Tour titles. If he wins here tomorrow, he would be a winner in 5 different decades. In the lead, Snead at 18.
About a 5-iron layup. Is anything in the fairway.
JC sneaking up on that money list. $645,000 in earnings on the year for JC. He's played a lot. This is his 27th event. First place check tomorrow, $225,000. No player has enjoyed a more successful career out on the senior PGA Tour than Lee Trevino. In less than 6 years, the Merry Mex has a senior PGA Tour record 27 victories. His $6.5 million in senior PGA Tour earnings is still another record. And when you add it to his PGA Tour money, Trevino is nearing a monetary milestone. With a two-way tie for 22nd or better here this week at Tanglewood, Trevino becomes golf's third $10 million man in all-time earnings. Trevino will join Greg Norman and Raymond Floyd, who eclipsed the $10 million mark earlier in 1996.
Here are some Ritz snack suggestions from the Big Apple Dance Studio.
What is this? Just some of the more sophisticated flavors, a little pate.
Started with a Ritz cracker, put some peanut butter, a dollop of chocolate over a banana. Everybody eats their Ritz differently.
You're not limited like you are with a chip. You can just pile it on because you got a nice stable platform to build your snack on top of.
I'm going to eat this. Voila.
Ritz. Open a box, make up a snack.
Her name is Janet. She believes in controlled aggression. She believes in the genuine kick of adrenaline. She believes there's more than one way to fly. She believes dolphins shouldn't have all the fun. Seville STS with the North Star system. Great performers create a higher standard.
You'll find them at the U.S. Junior Amateur, the Collegiate Championships, and the U.S. Amateur. You'll find them on the PGA Tour and every major tour around the world. In fact, you'll find them in more PGA Club Professionals bags than any other club. DCI irons from Titleist. You'll find this is as good as golf gets.
When devising the set of NFL Countdown, 4 of the McGinty brothers sit together, while one sits alone.
Well, ever since I can remember, Sterling's always lined up wide.
It's just where it feels more comfortable. Heck, we've tried different formations.
Yeah, pro set, wishbone, run and shoot.
I guess in the end, we just decided that we'd let them line up wide.
And that way, we can always option to him. 5-time Pro Bowler, he's always there for you.
Welcome back. Rick Acton's home club out in Sahalee will host the PGA Championship. When, 98?
I believe it is in 1998. Rick here with a birdie putt to go to 6 under.
So the man from suburban Seattle will join Simon Hobday in at 5 under. Now Snead, his third. Rossi?
He laid well back, 120 yards, wants to play a full shot in there. JC's very good with the short irons. I think that he's vastly underrated at this part of the game.
That to go to 9 under par. Meanwhile, John Bland birdied 18. He has joined Acton and Simon Hobday in at -5. Bland, who's currently 4th on the money list with 3 wins, over $1 million in earnings. And speaking of earnings, what a leaderboard they had at the Buick Challenge getting underway in Callaway Gardens, Georgia today. I mean, Fred Funk, he was right up there, tied for the lead. Davis Love, Freddie Couples was only 1 shot back. Mark it down. Final round coverage tomorrow, 6:30 at night out on the West Coast, 9:30 on the East Coast. Devlin.
That was from 95 yards.
And one of those that the fans enjoy with that spin coming back, but player certainly doesn't when it spins farther away from the hole.
Back to 17.
January has a putt here that his 10 years experience on this golf course may just pay off for him. At first look, it looks like it wants to go quite a bit to the right, but there's a hill to the right off that bunker that keeps it from moving as far to the right as you think. This putt can be missed on the left side very, very easily.
Chance to tie Gary Player. The Grand Masters. Oof. And he'll now need a birdie at 18 to do that.
Gary Player has already won 2 MasterCard Grand Masters titles for the Super Seniors this year. First at Ojai at the Ojai Valley Inn, and out in Park City, the Franklin Quest. Now Colbert to get it to 8 under.
Well, Jen's had a bunch of these putts today. If he'd have been red hot with his putter, I think he might have run away and hit with this thing. He's hit some good putts. They're just not going in. He continues to leave himself putts that are difficult to read. This is another one. My glance at it looked like that the ball wants to come down and move off to the right. Just depends on how hard he wants to hit it.
Tendency from this position, Frank, most of the players have overread the break. Yep, just like that.
He birdied 10, all pars since then, and he's had, as Frank and Gary have pointed out, about 6 legitimate birdie chances. J.C. Snead in the lead. Player with that sparkling 65, trailing by 1. Ditto Colbert. Jim trying to become the only 3-time champion of the Vantage Championship. In 1991, Jim Colbert came here to Tanglewood Park nearing the end of his very successful sophomore season. Having already won once that year, Colbert shot a final round 67, making up 3 shots to capture the Vantage Championship. 1 year later, Colbert was again the man here at Tanglewood Park. After opening up with a tournament record 65, Colbert never looked back, taking the rain-shortened event by 2 shots and becoming the only 2-time Vantage champion in the 9-year history of the event.
This is gonna be big.
My name is Arnie.
Hi, Arnie.
I just bought a Honda Accord and I feel guilty.
My name is Vera.
Hi,
Vera. I just got an Accord and I feel guilty.
My name is Dave. I just bought an Accord. I feel guilty.
Should you feel guilty getting the first car you look at? Not when it's got the quality and reliability of the Honda Accord.
I've owned 3 Accords and I feel great.
Make it easy on yourself and see your Honda dealer first.
Senior Tour, I've seen the spirit to overcome terrific odds. When I found this note on my locker.
Hi, my name is Gary. When I'm sick, the doctors and nurses from St. Christopher's take care of me.
They help me with all my surgeries.
To think that these kids achieve life through what we do, that's pretty special. When you help the tournament, you help these youngsters.
That's how I got my heart transplant.
Because on the Senior PGA Tour, thank you.
Colbert, tee at the home hole, Frank.
There's no way he's going to get home in 2, I don't think, today. Every once in a while he can sneak one out there, but his best drive is going to land in the face of this hill. And he's hit a little cut shot. It's just not going to be enough. Good drive.
Up on the green, Rossi.
This is sort of the same putt that Raymond thought was going to go to the left. Let's see what JC does with it.
Well, he does have one Vantage trophy. Vantage at the Dominion back in '93. Here's Bones.
Get it, Randy.
You heard him say get it. It's another one of those balls that's gone to the right.
It's going to catch that fairway bunker. And he needs to make birdie here to tie Gary Player. MasterCard Grand Masters title.
And just a moment ago, after birdies at 16 and 17.
Putt that'll move off to Bruce's right. Ooh, not much. Hit a pretty good putt.
Now live to Whit Weaver to finish at -6.
DeWitt's played a good round. He bogeyed 16 from right in the middle of the fairway and 100 yards from the hole, but aside from that, he's played pretty well.
So he will join Simon Hobday, Rick Acton, and John Bland in at 5 under. A good friend of the Senior PGA Tour and of this Vantage Championship. Last year's tournament director, Linwood Taylor, died in June of this year. He is survived by his 2 children. And in that spirit, there will be constructed here the Vantage Volunteers Children's Playground in the memory of our friend, Linwood Taylor.
Lower your right foot and repeat after me. I promise to be free. I promise to be different. I promise to take the other path. I promise to be unique. I promise to drive an Eldorado with a 300 horsepower North Star V8, a suspension that reads faster than Evelyn Wood, and a body that parts traffic. Eldorado with the North Star system by Cadillac.
Hold it. This isn't you, it's an older guy.
Oh, that was before I got rid of my gray hair with Just for Men hair color.
Come on, that's too natural to be hair coloring.
Just for Men. Apply and in 5 minutes rinse. Gray is blended away for a totally natural look.
Think it'll work for me?
In 5 minutes.
Just for Men looks too natural to be hair coloring. And now try Just for Men Color Gel for the hard to color hair of mustaches and beards. Brush in, rinse out. Just 5 minutes.